Alright, let's try something a bit new. My name is Casey. This is the first time I've tried this out, so by all means, if I don't do anything the way you'd like to see it, let me know. Just a bit about me. I'm just about 40 years old, American, living in England. Been playing Dungeons and Dragons since about the mid-80s. 2nd edition, 3rd edition, couldn't stand 4th edition, but now spending quite a lot of time DMing 5th edition. I've decided that I spend quite a bit of time driving, so why not combine Dungeons and Dragons and driving and have a bit of a chat about it as I get where I'm going. So currently, Dungeons and Dragons, I'm running a group on Monday nights using a 5e rule set, heavily modified with some of my own homebrew, incorporating a bunch of Spelljammer and all kinds of other craziness in with it as well. Tuesday nights I'm then playing in a more traditional kind of 5e setting without a great deal of homebrew, although there is still some. The DM's actually allowed one of my homebrew races into the game. I think really the thing I'd like to start out talking about is what I've already mentioned there, Spelljammer. Now, that's a system that has gotten a lot of flack over the years. People talked about how silly it was, how crazy it was, how it didn't make sense. I used to actually hear a lot of people say that it wasn't actually D&D. And I never really understood that because, well, the whole point of D&D is that it's whatever you turn it into. D&D is a framework for your imagination to help you play the game you want to play. So if that game involves sailing magical ships through space and basically playing pirates through the stars, why not? Now, some people also say that it was a badly written system, which maybe has a little bit more merit, but still wouldn't say a lot. It wasn't bad. Basically, what I've done for the game that I'm running at the moment is kept most of the Spelljammer ship combat very similar to what it was in 2nd edition. So, of course, to do that, you'd have to either have played 2nd edition or have access to the old materials. A lot of that, though, is available in PDF nowadays, so it's not too hard to get if you don't have the original books. The rest of the systems, it's just a matter of converting old races into the 5e rule set. Car's not happy with me at the moment. So yeah, that's what a lot of my homebrew has been, updating races. There's a great rule set in the 5e DMG to tell you exactly how to look at an old race. I think they use the Aasimar as the example. And they take a race from 3.0, or maybe 3.5, and they upgrade it to 5e. Same rules apply if you want to upgrade from something from 2nd edition or whenever, really. So I've done that. We actually have quite an odd crew. We started out the game with a Gromham captain using the gunslinger class that Matt Mercer created. So basically a giant ape. Basically his background was that he was taken away from Gromham as a slave, fell in with some pirates, and then ended up getting freed and encountering a ship. Unfortunately, he ended up with a spelljamming ship that did not have a spelljamming helm, which meant that basically it was dead in the water. It couldn't go anywhere. He then ended up meeting up with a second player who was playing an arcane. Now, anyone who's not played 2nd edition probably doesn't know who the arcane are. 3rd edition, they were called the mercane. Basically, think big, blue, traditionally neutral politicians and or merchants. This particular one ended up in possession of a spelljamming helm, but without a ship to put it in. So it was pretty much a match made in heaven there. Excuse me. We also have a half-elf bard on the crew, Tia, who basically grew up in the Feywild and just made her way to the prime material plane. I might talk about how I handle planes in Spelljammer a little bit later, because it does get a bit convoluted. We also had an ogre. We also had 2 NPC ogres. The 3 were basically brothers, so the other 2 NPCs are members of the crew, but are not members of the party. And we've also got a very odd character, referred to for a long time as simply the experiment, because basically what I did was I got a player to accept, turn that off for us, to accept basically playing the game blind. He started out the game with amnesia. He had no idea who he was. He had no idea what he was. He had no idea what he could do. And he figured it out as we've gone along. So well, there's a couple more players in the crew as well that I'll probably talk about at later points. But starting out, that gives you an idea of kind of how odd or eclectic the group actually is. And as you can probably tell, I'm just arriving at my destination, so what I will do is stop this for now, and the next time I'm in the car, we will look at a video 2 where I might go a bit more into either the group itself, some of the adventures they've had, or probably even some of my own homebrew elements that I've put in. As I start talking about some of those things, I will include links to them below, so until then, have a great day.